I'm not getting anything on Carlo's mic.
Carlo, you're just on mute there.
I'm mute.
I'll try again. Good afternoon. Nice to see you.
Ciao.
Okay. This lunchtime, Carlo Morgan Schneiderlin has joined Nice. It's a fresh start for the player, but I wonder how frustrating it is for him and the club that perhaps Everton didn't see the best of him.
Yeah, but I think I can talk about the period he had injured, but the time that he played well. But apart from this, I think that everyone in the club is happy for what he did as a professional here, and every one of us want to wish him the best. He had the desire to come back to play in France, and we let him the possibility to go there. And so we wish him all the best for the future.
Sunday was an encouraging start. I'm just wondering how important the break has been for you, giving you a pre-season, if you like, with the players that you could never have expected, how important that work is on the training ground.
I think we trained well, and the game showed that we showed a good physical condition, really good. I was a little bit surprised on the physical aspect. I'm also sure that will be more difficult the next game that we are going to play tomorrow, because we didn't have a lot of time to rest, and so we have to be focused there to try to repeat the same performance, but on the physical aspect, but I think will be more difficult.
Norwich's only away win of the season came at Goodison Park, and on that occasion, the manager then talked about the players playing with fear. Have you seen that fear disappear and be replaced by confidence and belief?
No, I think that the player doesn't have fear to play in this period. Of course, they don't like to play without crowd. This is absolutely normal, but I think on the mental aspect, they don't have problem, fear, or nothing else.
You've talked about the team climbing the table, but how important are these next 8 games for you to assess the people that you want here next season?
No, I think it's really important. It's really important to have a goal to try to reach. And so our goal is to compete until the end of the season, to try to climb the table, to try Europe. This is the target. Difficult, but the team that are above us are not so far.
Just a final question from me, and it's a question I think you'll expect. Some tax fraud allegations coming from your time in Spain. I wonder if you had anything to say about that at all, Carlo.
Yes. I think it's an ongoing dispute. A lot of players, a lot of managers had the same problem in Spain, and it's an ongoing dispute with the tax authority in Spain. I leave it in my lawyer's hand. They are the expert, and I'm not so worried about this. I'm focused on the game tomorrow.
Carlo.
Thank you.
Thanks, James. If we go to Sam from Premier League Productions, please.
Carlo, good to see you. Hope you're well. First question from me. Of course, the first round of Premier League matches has finished now. I just wondered what your thoughts were, both from a tactical point of view, having watched some of these games, and maybe how you found the overall experience as well.
But I think that on the tactical aspect, it didn't change a lot from the statistics, from the data. We have seen that the away team has more possibility to compete. That is absolutely normal, because the home teams lose the support of the crowd. This is really important. What the statistics said also, above all in the other leagues, is that after 3 days, it's really difficult to keep the same intensity at the same physical level. And so if the first game, I think that on the physical aspect, we were really good, we are more worried about the physical update on the second game, also because Norwich had 2 days more to recovery. They played Friday, we played Sunday, and so. But fortunately, in football, there is not only the physical aspect to consider; there is also mental aspect, the tactical and technical quality that we would like to show tomorrow.
You started with 2 young Scousers in your team for the Merseyside derby on Sunday, one of which was Anthony Gordon, of course, making his Premier League debut. As you continue to build something here at Goodison Park, how integral are the young local players going to be for you in terms of keeping that Everton identity?
I think that the sense of belonging of the players to the club in general is really build a fantastic team using the player from the academy. But in this case, and the academy, good sense of belonging, like Seamus Coleman, like Tom Davies, and so this is important. And apart from this, there is, I choose Anthony Gordon not because he's from the academy, not because it's for the sense of belonging, because I thought that it was important for the game. And this is my job, to choose the right player to try to prepare well the game.
You mentioned Seamus Coleman there. Speaking after the Merseyside derby, Seamus said that the players are fighting for their futures under yourself as manager. Is that how you see it? And what do these current players have to do to make sure that they have a future here under yourself at Everton?
But I think that the player has to show quality, has to show character for the shirt that they dress every single game, and not for other things. Our captain is a fantastic example of this. He shows all he has for the club and for the shirt that he dresses.
Just a final one from me, Carlo. In terms of Norwich, I presume you've had an opportunity to watch the game at Goodison Park back in November. How much of a change have you seen in this squad from maybe a game back then that was possibly one of the lowest points in the season? How much has changed?
I know about the defeat that the Everton suffered against Norwich. I think it was one of the lowest points of the season. But so this can be a good reason for tomorrow to try to revenge the defeat. As I said, will be difficult. I know, and I want that the players understand that we have to play a fantastic game. Norwich is in a difficult position, but is one of the less chance that they want to use against us to have a possibility to catch points for the relegation battle.
Thanks,
Alistair from the BBC. You're on mute there, Alistair. We can hear you now.
Can you hear me okay? Yeah, sorry. Hi, Carlo. I just wanted to ask you, obviously there was an incident at the Manchester City game last night where a banner was thrown above the stadium that said "White Lives Matter." I just wondered what your thoughts were on that, because there's been a strong condemnation from Burnley and their players.
I think it is right to connect this act, but I think that is not the reflection what all the supporters around the world, and not only the Premier League, are doing for this campaign. And so this is a really important campaign. Here in Everton, we are giving all the support that we can for this campaign that we consider really, really important for us, of course, and for the next generation, for the future of the world that we would like to live. I had the big fight last year in Italy about the abuse racially against Koulibaly. I know that Everton, when Moise Kean came here, the supporter of Everton made a banner to support Moise. So we are trying to do something that cannot be in 2020.
Yeah, and you just mentioned there about you asked a question there about your players' futures. I was just wondering, during lockdown, did you spend a lot of time assessing what your team needs, and do you expect to make big changes when this season ends?
We have every single day, all the day, to talk with the director of football, Marcel Brand. We are talking about players for the future, of course, and and all the staff spend time to watch players around the world, and so we have a clear idea for the market. But in this period, we are focused on our game. We are trying to finish well the season. After that, we have time, because I think that I'm not so sure about the date, but I think the market will be open until the 5th of October, and so we have time to talk about the new season.
And just last question, there was news the other week that Leighton Baines had been offered a new contract for next season. I just wondered if there was any news on that, in terms of whether or when he might be.
We are waiting his decision, and every decision is made, it will be a good decision. We offer a new contract because I think that Leighton, as a professional, as a player, as a man, is really important for us. But any decision he will make, he will decide to do, is a good decision for us.
Yeah. Thanks, Alistair. Ian from PA.
Hi, Carlo. Just wanted to ask, first of all, are there any changes on the injury front? Anything different from last week?
Not any changes. They are close. Jeremina and Del, they are close to come back, but they are not available for the game tomorrow. And so I hope that for the next game they will be available. We didn't have a injury problem against the game of Liverpool, and so there will be the same.
How different is tomorrow's game in terms of setting up and preparing to Sunday's game? You're going from facing the top team in the table to the bottom team in the table, but it's also a long way trip.
I think that it's important for us to be focused there. I know that it will be more difficult because the motivation that the Merseyside derby give to the player is totally different. But I think the focus that to come back to win, because are some games that we are not able to win. Sure that we played against a strong team, but it's really important to be focused and to try to win.
Okay, and finally, from me, obviously, with all the different protocols in place, a game away to Norwich, what are the different challenges to normally travelling to Norwich from Norwich, and what impact might that have on the team?
But I will let you know after the journey, because we don't know. I think it will be different, as it was different to go to the hotel before the game against Liverpool. Everything is new. Was new, the atmosphere before the game, the position of the dressing room. Everything is new, but we have to accept this. We have to follow the protocol that the Premier League gives to us.
Thanks, Ian. Does anyone else want to ask a question in the open section before we go to Radio Merseyside? If you do so, there's a virtual hand you can put up. If you look at the bottom of your screen there, if you could just put your hand up if you wanted to ask a question. Otherwise, we'll go to James at Radio Merseyside next. Can't see any hands up. So, James, do you want to carry on, please?
Hello, Carlo. May I just ask about Jibril Sidibe, please, and his chances of returning?
No, the CDB is not available to play tomorrow. He has a problem on his feet, and he has an inflammation, and I hope that he will be ready soon.
You've got 8 games to play between now and the end of July, so nearly a month. Does this period almost have the feel of a mini tournament, a World Cup, which I know that you've experienced?
No, it is. It is a mini tournament, and I think we started well, this mini tournament, but now, as I said, we need to do all we can to try to play in Europe the next season. Will not be easy. There are teams above us, but we have to fight for this. This is an important goal for us and for the club for the next season.
We've mentioned Anthony Gordon already on the bench on Sunday. You also had Jarrad Branthwaite and Benny Beningame. The fact you've got 9 substitutes now, does that mean we're likely to see more younger players on the bench, and how much benefit can that be for them?
No, the fact that we had some injury in this period gave them the possibility to play with us, to train with us, to show their quality. I think that they are doing well. They are doing really well, and for them, of course, it's a good experience. The fact that we have 20 players on the bench, I think, is a good idea from the Premier League. Not only because, of course, we have less problem to do the squad, because I think that when you choose the lineup, when you choose the substitute, it's difficult for us to say to the players, go to the stand, go in the stand to watch the game. It's better that they stay on the field and have the possibility to play. I think that they don't have the experience to play all the games, but some part of the game they are able to play, as Anthony did really well against Liverpool.
Thanks, Carlo.